Aquarius 18, a man unmasked. We cover ourselves, hide ourselves from public glance, don't we? We hide away from the inspection of actually everyone. Nobody really gets to know us deeply. And we need to ask ourselves why. This isn't a particularly pleasant quality to hide. It's much more spiritually demonstrative if we are unveiled, if we're transparent and we're open and everybody can see exactly who we are. That's a higher spiritual principle. So why is it that we mask ourselves? Why do we not want to reveal who we are? And it's partly because we're nervous, we're afraid of what will happen if we're measured and found wanting. Because the community has its own way of demanding a certain level, a certain attitude, a certain type of person. And if we're not going to measure up, then something will happen. You know, we will pay a price, and we don't want to be seen to be inadequate. And yet, what happens if we hide our own imperfections of being from the public gaze? Then we actually end up hiding it from ourselves. Very difficult to be self-honest when you're telling a story to the world. And it's counterproductive in the longer term. It's better to be seen for all of your vulnerabilities so that you can deal with them. Because if you don't actually have them seen, you're not going to look yourself, and therefore you won't deal with them. And so they'll stay with you indefinitely. Indefinitely, you know. So we do have to open up and be seen. And the thing is that we're not really accomplishing very much by putting on the mask anyway, because they don't work. There's always someone who can see through you, and there's usually a lot of people that can see through you. If somebody cannot see through you, then they're not looking. It's really clear when somebody is living a lie and blowing themselves up to be more important or more capable than they really are, or hiding imperfections of being which are really obvious. If you want to see that in a person, you just have to look. You have to look carefully, and you have to look quietly, and you have to see what there is to see and not tell yourself lies about what you're looking at. But it's there, and you can certainly develop this skill by training yourself. So the masks don't work. We are seen, actually, for what we are and who we are. And actually, that's acceptable. We are accepted, even though we are seen in our perfections. So then the question becomes, if we can't forgive our own imperfections and other people can, what is it that we're not doing right? Imperfections indicate that we've reached a point in this trial and error process where we've made an error. And whereas some people focus on how to avoid the error and not do it wrong in future, and some people don't do that. Another category of person, the kind of inquiring person, the one with real curiosity, will find out why. Why have we gone wrong to the extent that we want to mask ourselves from the world? This spirit of inquiry as to why is the way forward. We have to understand what we're doing wrong, why we're doing it, why we started to do it. Was it because our parents didn't parent us properly? Usually is. In that case, well, why did we choose that? Why did we incarnate into such a family, such that our parents were going to do that? Why? And the answer is because of what attitudes and skills and abilities we developed to defend against their maltreatment, their abuse of us, which we set up before incarnation. So what have we gained by defending against our parents? Why did we gain that? Why did we want that? What's that for? If you actually study this question of why, you get to a very profound sense of self. And even on the soul level, you can understand the soul's purpose in incarnating. So the purpose of unmasking ourselves is to get further into the understanding of why. Why is it going wrong? What do we want to do instead comes out of that. How can we get it right comes out of that. But unless we understand why it was wrong in the first place, that's not so easy. It might not even be possible. Now, in the reverse sense, we will notice that the people that we meet have their own masks, and if we want to, we can see through them. So it's very helpful if we'll all understand that there's a private individual interpretation for the nature of reality afforded to everyone. Reality in no way appears the same to any two individuals. I say in no way, there's a shared sense of physicality and stuff, but the meaning is different for us all. Very different. And our interpretation of events and the why of the events, the reason of what's going on, our interpretation is actually our business, and somebody else's interpretation is actually their business. We don't want to judge somebody else's interpretation of what's going on and what they need to do and why they need to do it. That judgment is what creates this need people feel for masks. If we were all unmasked and unjudgmental, then all of us collectively would rise up